What can be said about Journey that hasn't already been said before? It is a masterpiece, unlike anything you have ever seen. A piece of art as much as it is a game. A sonically and visually stunning experience that leaves you speechless at its end. Standing alone in an undefined genre, it simply is Journey.
Developed by that game company, the studio behind the games Flow, and one of the most highly praised indie titles, Flower, comes Journey. Journey was originally released on the PlayStation 3 back in March of 2012, and later remastered for the PlayStation 4. Sending shockwaves throughout the industry, it has been praised as one of the best PlayStation 3 exclusives, if not one of the best games of all time. At first glance, it is not hard to see what makes Journey so unique and breathtaking. From stunning lighting effects that glisten off of every particle of sand, to its seemingly vast desert vistas. Journey stands alone graphically. Never before have I seen a game transform into a piece of art quite like Journey has. This gameplay is from the PlayStation 4 version of Journey, and even though it made its way over to the current gen, Journey is still a graphical masterpiece on its home console, the PlayStation 3. You play as an unnamed, genderless robed figure. With no waypoints or map, you are drawn to the only point of interest on the horizon, a giant mountain with a beam of light shooting straight up from its peak. Gameplay is simple. You press X to jump or glide, and use the left thumbstick to control your character. You can also communicate or chirp with the circle button. When you first begin your journey, you are introduced to a glowing orb of light. Upon collecting this orb, your scarf grows a little longer, allowing your jump to become a small glide. The more orbs you collect throughout the game, the longer you will be able to glide. Although collecting the orbs are not essential to complete the game, there is a hidden surprise for you if you are able to collect them all. In Journey, there are no lives or continues. You cannot die. You do not have to reload a checkpoint if you fail. The journey simply continues on, no pun intended. There are no enemies that can kill you, although there are some baddies in Journey that you will have to worry about. But the consequences of harm do not affect you in the traditional gameplay sense, instead leave you feeling defeated emotionally. Every time you take harm, you lose a piece of your scarf, hindering the distance and height you can glide. I will not reveal the enemies during this review so I don't spoil things. I believe it makes you feel more connected to your character and the journey you are partaking in. And boy oh boy, does Journey make you feel connected every second of this roughly 2-hour experience. From the opening moments traveling through a seemingly endless desert, to the snow-covered valleys you venture through, there is always a sense of purpose, even though you are not quite sure what that purpose is. You feel as though you are on a pilgrimage, a journey of self-discovery and personal growth. The game vaguely tells you a story through brief cutscenes and hidden glyphs that you can find, but I find that personal interpretation is needed. What does this journey mean to you, and what life experiences can you relate it to? When I first played this game, it spoke to me in a way that a game never has before. It hit me so deeply with what was going on in my life that it actually helped me cope with the loss of a loved one. Never before has a game done this for me, and still to this day has not. But like I said earlier, this game is up to personal interpretation, and the symbolic message and story you take away from it is your own. Sometimes as you wander throughout your journey, you might spot another robed figure in the distance. This is Journey's way of introducing a multiplayer element into the game. The transition into multiplayer is seamless. There are no lobbies to enter or inviting of friends available. The game simply pairs you with another player as they are carrying along their journey. There is no player name, so there is no clue as to who you are playing with until the end of the game. I find it brilliant. With no info available about the other player, you are left with no preconceived judgments or feelings towards them. You simply see them as an equal, another nameless being such as yourself partaking in their own pilgrimage. The only way to interact with them is by chirping. Depending on how long you hold down the circle button, your chirp will vary in length and pitch. It is a very simple yet effective way to connect you emotionally to the other player. there is something very comforting about finding another wandering around the desert, as Journey can invoke feelings of loneliness from time to time. And let's not forget the soundtrack. Composed by Austin Wintory, the score throughout the game is astounding. A beautiful, tranquil, and emotional masterpiece of music accompanies you along the way, delighting your senses and hitting hard in the softest depths of your being. The soundtrack is one of a kind and should be praised as a big part of the overall game that is Journey. Never before has an indie game came along with such brilliance as this. With a simple and easy to understand gameplay, this game is accessible to gamers and non-gamers alike, allowing the splendor and true art of Journey to be experienced. This game has changed minds in the gaming industry and will continue to be one of the most praised and influential games of the PlayStation 3's life cycle. If you have never played Journey, you owe it to yourself to experience this once-in-a-lifetime game. Even years later, this game is still at the top of my list of best gaming experiences of all time. Journey is a masterpiece that should not be missed out on. So what are you waiting for? Get out there and take a journey.
Hey guys, thank you so much for watching. This was my first video I've ever made and my first review I've ever made, so I'm quite new at this. So thank you so much for watching, and I really hope you guys enjoyed it.